Welcome to Cindy's Creative Inspirations. For this week's class, I will be showing you the new Susan Lennart Casimir's molding putty. Molding putty is simple to mix and you are ready to cast using ice resin between 15 and 20 minutes. To create your mold, you take equal parts of each of the two putties that come in the kit. Now this does not have to be exact science. And you're going to knead this and mold it in the palm of your hand. Now you do need to work kind of quickly as you have 3 minutes of working time until your mold takes the shape of whatever you are casting in it. Now remember, the possibilities of using this are endless. You can cast a head from a doll or an arm, something that's round, by building a front and a back mold and gluing them together. I'll be sharing with you in a moment some of the molds that I've done already. So once we get this together, you simply just lay it down, and then you take your, this is what I'm going to be molding, is this little heart, and you press it into the putty. And you want to make sure that you create a well around the outside, so that way when you pour your ice resin in later, it doesn't overpour. You're going to leave this for 5 to 6 minutes, and then you're actually able to take out your embellishment or whatever you've cast. And then if you wait just 15 minutes, you're able to mix and pour your ice resin inside. And 6 hours later, you can actually take your product out of the mold. The molds are usable, reusable over and over again. Now last week I did a class on the ice resin, this crystal clear, self-doming, jewelry-like product, and it's absolutely a beautiful product to work with and fun to use. For my castings that I did, I actually used this new Enamels Glitz powder in silver sparkle. I mixed this right in with my ice resin and then I poured it into my molds. So let me show you what we got. I used this little Tim Holtz sprocket gear to create this mold, and this was my ice resin piece when I got it out. See how sparkly and beautiful? I used this little dogwood here, and I got this beautiful dogwood piece here. I use this leaf here to create this mold, and I'm going to show you in a minute what I did by pouring and casting 2 of these. Here's some other fun things that I did with the ice resin. I used these bottle caps here, and I poured them and then placed a Swarovski crystal on the top. I'll use them for centers of flowers or something on my card. Here is a bezel from Spellbinders, and I poured 1 layer and then I let it set, and then I poured the top layer, and once I got that poured, then I added the Swarovski crystals as the finishing touches on this. It just makes a beautiful embellishment. So I shared with you that I created this mold for this little leaf, and this is my card that I created, and here is the top. The leaves are right here. What I did with them is I actually took the new 3D stamp paint that I'm going to feature in another video, along with a sponge dauber, and I just dabbed onto the ice resin the 3D stamp paint silver color to coordinate with my silver sparkle glitz powder. Now here on the front of my card you'll see this die, and actually it's kind of hard to see that it's an actual die, but what I did was I took the ice resin with a brush and I brushed it over my cardstock that was cut out of the largest die on Spellbinders Decorative Labels 22, and I let it dry. I did the same thing with the little rose here. It actually is one of the Color Me roses from Stamping Scrapping, and I just took a brush and I did that as well. And once it dried, I added the Swarovski crystals here and then as all accents around. In the center is a bottle cap, and I used my new bottle cap stamps, this one right here, and I stamped it on a piece of paper and placed it in the bottom of the bottle cap, and then I actually poured the ice resin in and let it get somewhat thick. About after 2 hours, I placed the Swarovski crystal in the center, so it didn't end up in the bottom. And then for the rest of my card, I used Spellbinders, Nestabilities, Card Creator, Rounded Corners A for this here, and also for my sentiment. The Hello Friends stamp is one of the bottle cap stamps. And then to finish my card, I used the Memento London Fog and another sponge dauber, and I just took it on my finger and added the color all the way around the edge of my card and also around here. So I hope I have inspired you. Next week I will be sharing with you the new 3D stamp paints, and these are metallic decorative paints, and we will be exploring a lot of different uses for those. And they come in a jar like this. They are beautiful, beautiful colors. So I will be back next week to spotlight these paints. All of the items that I showed you in this video can be found on stampingscrapping.com. Happy creating!